Two brothers. Same house, same parents, same schools. They both graduated at 22, got corporate jobs by 25, and by 35, they were nearly identical on paper, each earning about $85,000 a year, each married, each with two kids, each with around $120,000 saved for retirement. If you looked at them at 35, you couldn't tell them apart financially. Now, fast forward 30 years. One brother is 65, sitting on a quiet balcony on a Tuesday morning. No alarm clock, no deadlines. His portfolio? Just over $1.4 million. House is paid off. His withdrawals are steady, predictable. He travels when he wants, helps his grandkids with school fees, sleeps well. The other brother? Also 65, but he's not on a balcony, he's in traffic, still working, not because he wants to, but because he has to. His retirement account sits at $180,000. That's not income, that's anxiety. Every expense is a calculation. Every medical bill is a threat. Retirement isn't a chapter for him, it's a problem he's still trying to solve. Same starting point, same opportunities, radically different endings. And here's the uncomfortable truth. The gap didn't happen in their 20s. It didn't happen in their 30s. It happened in one decade. Their 40s. Hey, I'm Brian, and I spend way too much time thinking about the exact moment people unknowingly lock in their financial future. And if there's one pattern I've seen over and over again, it's this. Your 40s don't just influence your retirement, they decide it. Not in a vague, motivational way. I mean mathematically, mechanically, predictably. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why that decade carries so much weight. The financial forces at play, the decisions that quietly cost people hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions, and how two people with the same life can end up with completely different retirements. If you think of this like peer review, testing your current path against reality, then this might be the highest ROI 18 minutes you spend this week. Because once you see the math, you don't unsee it. Let me show you why your 40s are so powerful and why mistakes in this decade are so expensive. There are three forces quietly stacking on top of each other. Force number one, peak earning power. For most people, your 40s are when your income peaks. You're no longer entry-level. You've built experience. Your network is stronger. Promotions, bonuses, side income. This is typically your highest earning window, roughly between ages 42 and 55, which means something critical. This is when you have the most capacity to invest. Not in your 20s when you're earning $40,000. Not even in your early 30s when life is still unstable. Your 40s are when you finally have margin. And what you do with that margin determines everything. Force number two, the last powerful compounding window. Now here's where the math gets serious. A dollar invested at 25 has decades to grow. We all know that. But a dollar invested at 40? It still has time to multiply 3x to 4x by retirement, assuming average market returns around 7 to 8%. That means $10,000 invested at 40 becomes roughly $40,000 by 65. $50,000 becomes $200,000. $100,000 becomes $400,000. But here's the catch. If you don't invest that money in your 40s, there's no later decade that can make up for it. Your 50s? Less time. Your 60s? Almost no time. Your 40s are the last decade where money can still compound meaningfully. Miss that window, and you're not delaying retirement growth. You're deleting it. Force number three, expense stabilization. The illusion of now I can afford it. By your 40s, most of your big life setup costs are already behind you. You've bought furniture, settled into a home, established your lifestyle baseline, built your career identity, which creates a dangerous illusion. Now I can upgrade. Upgrade the house. Upgrade the car. Upgrade the vacations. Upgrade everything. And because your income is higher, it feels justified. It feels earned. But here's the reality. Every upgrade in your 40s doesn't just cost you today. It silently redirects money away from the last compounding window you have left. And that's why this decade is so decisive. Because for the first time in your life, you have the income to build real wealth. The time for that wealth to grow. and the temptation to spend both. Those three forces collide in your 40s. And the direction you choose, invest or inflate, is what separates the brother with $1.4 million from the one still stuck working at 65. If you're new here and just subscribed, comment your name below. I read every comment and shout out new subscribers in my next video. I do appreciate you joining me on this finance journey. Now let's move from theory to reality, because this is where it stops being abstract and starts becoming uncomfortable. Let's take a simple, consistent example. Imagine someone hits age 40 with $100,000 already invested. From here, they have 25 years until 65. We'll assume a conservative 7% annual return, nothing extreme. Now consider three versions of the same person. Scenario A, the consistent investor. They invest $1,500 per month from age 40 to 65. That's $18,000 a year. By retirement, they end up with roughly $1.6 million. Not flashy, not lucky, just consistent. Scenario B, the I'll start later investor. Same person, same starting $100,000. But for the first 10 years, they invest nothing. Life gets busy. Expenses creep up. At 50, they wake up and start investing $2,500 per month to catch up. That's actually more per month than scenario A. But by 65, they end up with about $900,000. That's a $700,000 gap, despite investing more aggressively later. Scenario C, the lifestyle inflator. Same starting point, $100,000. They invest, but inconsistently. Some years it's $1,000 per month. Some years nothing, because money gets redirected into upgrades. Bigger house, newer cars, better everything. Their average ends up around $800 per month over 25 years. Final result? Roughly $700,000 to $750,000. Less than half of scenario A. Now pause for a second. Same person, same starting point. The only difference? What they did in their 40s. And here's what I find most striking. The gap isn't created by extreme behavior. It's created by normal decisions. Decisions that feel harmless in the moment, but compound into six-figure consequences. Which brings us to the real problem. Because in your 40s, you're not just investing or not investing. You're making a series of decisions that quietly determine which scenario you end up in. Let's break those down. Because these are the exact moments where people unintentionally trade their future for their present. Decision has shown, the housing upgrade. This one feels logical. You've outgrown your current home. You want more space, better neighborhood, maybe a status upgrade. So you move from a $350,000 home to a $600,000 home. Your monthly cost increases by, say, $1,200 when you factor in mortgage, taxes, maintenance. That's $14,400 per year. Invested instead at 7% over 25 years? That's roughly $900,000 to $1 million. One upgrade, one decision, nearly $1 million trade-off. The alternative? Stay longer than feels comfortable. Upgrade strategically, not emotionally. Because your house doesn't fund your retirement. Your investments do. Decision number 2, the car cycle. In your 40s, you can finally afford the cars you used to admire. So instead of driving a reliable $15,000 to $20,000 vehicle, you start cycling through $40,000 to $60,000 cars every few years. The difference? Let's say an extra $500 to $800 per month over time. That's $6,000 to $9,600 per year. Compounded over 25 years? You're looking at $250,000 to $400,000 lost in potential retirement wealth. And here's the part people ignore. A car's excitement fades in 6 to 12 months. But the financial impact? That lasts decades. The alternative? Drive utility, not identity. Keep cars longer. Upgrade less often. Redirect the difference into assets that actually grow. Decision number 3, funding your children's education. This one is emotional. You want to give your kids everything you didn't have. So you take on Parent Plus loans, pause your retirement contributions, or drain your investments. Let's say you redirect $1,000 per month away from retirement for 4 to 6 years. That's not just $50,000 to $70,000 in contributions lost. With compounding, it's closer to $150,000 to $250,000 gone from your future. Here's the hard truth. Your kids can take loans for school. You cannot take loans for retirement. The alternative? Support them wisely. State schools, partial contributions, shared responsibility. Because sacrificing your retirement doesn't help your children. It burdens them later. Decision number 4, career risk avoidance. Your 40s are often when you become cautious. You stay in the same role. Avoid switching companies. Decline opportunities that feel uncertain because stability feels safe. But here's the hidden cost. You cap your income. Let's say you stay at $90,000 when you could have moved to $120,000 to $130,000 over time. That's a $30,000 to $40,000 annual difference. Even if you invested just half of that difference, over 20 years, that's easily $400,000 to $600,000 in additional wealth. The alternative? Take calculated risks. Your 40s are actually the best time to leverage experience for higher income, not freeze it. Decision number 5, lifestyle inflation. This is the umbrella decision that ties everything together. Every raise, every bonus, every increase in income gets absorbed. Better restaurants, better vacations, better everything. You feel like you're progressing. But financially, you're standing still. If your income increases by $20,000 and your spending increases by $20,000, your future doesn't change. But if you invested just half of that increase, $10,000 per year, that alone becomes roughly $500,000 plus over time. The alternative? Lock in your lifestyle, then let your income grow above it. That gap? That's where wealth is built. Now here's the key point. None of these decisions feel reckless. They feel normal. They feel deserved, which is why so many people make them, and why the outcomes diverge so dramatically. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. Meet two families, David and Christine, and Robert and Jennifer. Both couples are 40 years old. Both households earn about $110,000 per year. Both have 2 kids. Both have around $120,000 saved for retirement. Identical starting point. David and Christine, the upgrade path. At 42, they upgrade their home from a modest house to a larger one in a better area. Their monthly costs increase by about $1,300. At 44, they replace both cars, financing newer models. Another $900 per month combined. At 45, their oldest child starts university. They decide to fully fund it, pausing retirement contributions for a few years and taking on some loans. By their late 40s, their lifestyle looks great. Nice home, nice cars, good schools, regular vacations. But behind the scenes, they're investing inconsistently. Some years nothing, some years small amounts. Robert and Jennifer, the constraint path. They face the same opportunities, but make different choices. They stay in their home, not forever, but longer than feels comfortable. They drive their cars for 8 to 10 years instead of upgrading early. When it comes to their kids' education, they set boundaries. State schools, partial support, no retirement withdrawals. And most importantly, every raise they get, they split it. Half improves their life. Half goes into investments. Consistently, boringly, relentlessly. Fast forward to 55. David and Christine have about $350,000 saved. Robert and Jennifer? Around $900,000. Same income, same life, different decisions. At 65, the outcome. David and Christine retire with roughly $650,000 to $700,000. It's not nothing, but it's not enough. Their withdrawal rate is tight. Their margin is thin. They're constantly calculating. They may even run out of money in their early 80s. Robert and Jennifer? They retire with about $1.6 million. Their house is paid off. Their withdrawals are comfortable. No stress. No panic. No second guessing. Same starting point. Different 40s. Different ending. And if you're being honest with yourself, you can probably see which path feels more familiar. Because these aren't extreme examples. They're normal lives, with normal decisions, that just happen to lead to very different futures. So why does this happen? Why do intelligent, hardworking people, people like David and Christine, make decisions that clearly cost them in the long run? There's a name for it: the deserving lifestyle trap. By the time you reach your 40s, you've spent 2 decades grinding. You've built a career, raised kids, handled responsibilities. So when your income finally rises, your brain tells you, you've earned this. And it's not wrong. The problem is timing. Because lifestyle upgrades deliver a burst of happiness that lasts, maybe 18 to 24 months. Then it becomes normal, invisible, baseline. But the money you redirected? That doesn't disappear emotionally. It disappears mathematically. Forever. Here's the trade most people don't realize they're making: 10 years of slightly elevated lifestyle in exchange for 30 years of financial pressure. Or the reverse: 10 years of discipline in exchange for 30+ years of freedom. The discomfort is temporary. The outcome is permanent. So what do you actually do with this? Let's make it practical, based on where you are right now. If you're in your 20s or 30s, your job is simple. Build the habit before the stakes get high. Automate investing, even if it's small. Avoid locking yourself into expensive lifestyles early. Focus on income growth and saving behavior. Because if you enter your 40s with discipline already in place, you won't have to rely on willpower when the real temptations hit. If you're in your early 40s, this is the inflection point. You need to get very clear on one thing. What percentage of your income is going to your future, not your present? Target 20 to 30% savings/investment rate. Split every raise, half lifestyle, half investing. Question every major upgrade decision. This is your highest leverage window. What you do in the next 5 to 10 years will echo for the next 30. If you're in your late 40s, now it's about correction. Not perfection, correction. Audit your expenses aggressively. Eliminate or delay major upgrades. Increase contributions as much as possible. Consider income expansion, side income, promotions, transitions. Because time is still on your side, but not for long. If you're in your 50s and beyond, now we're in optimization mode. Max out retirement accounts. Reduce unnecessary expenses. Delay retirement if needed. Even 3 to 5 years makes a huge difference. Protect what you've built. You're not building from scratch. You're tightening the system. Now, picture yourself at 70. Not in theory. In detail. It's a quiet morning. You wake up naturally. No alarm. No urgency. Your bills are paid. Your investments generate enough to support your life. You don't check your bank account before making decisions. You help your family without hesitation. You choose how your time is spent. That's one version. Now picture the other. Same age. But this time, there's tension. You're calculating every expense. You're delaying things you need. You're still working not for purpose, but for survival. Retirement didn't arrive. It got postponed. Again and again. Both of those futures are real. Both are common. And neither of them will be decided when you're 65. They're being decided right now. In your 40s. Because your 40s don't just shape your retirement. They lock it in.